Hello fellow Total Warriors, I am Zardar and welcome to another online battle from Warhammer 2. So this one is featuring Riggsen playing as the Empire and he's up against Montcas's Tomb Kings. So this is traditionally an even match, except when the Empire decides to go with like Luminarchs of his and things like that. You know, they snipe out the Tomb King Lord. Usually the Tomb King players choose to go with like a really cheap Lord, so because they know it's gonna get killed, he's gonna get killed, so yeah, just bring the cheapest stuff. But Riggsen hasn't decided to go with such a... no, it's not cheesy, okay, it's a win strategy, but he didn't decide to go with any of that. He decided to go with a more fun way, and I promise you this is gonna be one hell of a game. So let's begin and let's take a look at the army. So for his leadership he's gonna have Boris Todbriggen up on the air, which I really like Toddy because of the replenishment. Of course, he also got Foe Seeker and hold the line for melee defense and leadership for anybody who's around him. And in synergy, since you went with self-replenishment, he can go with a light wizard instead of a jade one, and actually brings the fast protection in order to just keep pumping some juice into Boris, and also the exorcism and the net. Sorry, I forgot about the net. I would like to see some Birona's Time War, to be honest, but the front line of his doesn't support such an offensive spell. Actually, if it gets dropped on halberds or even the Sigma Suns, they're gonna do some massive work into the enemy infantry, if it's Tomb Guard or Skeletons. Anyway, so for the rest of his front line, we can see that he's got a mix of Flagellants, Halberdiers, the Sigma Suns, Halberdiers and more Flagellants. And 1, 2, 3 parts of his front line is actually unbreakable, which is what you want, so I quite like the use of them. And the gaps are filled off by a couple of Halberdiers. Over here, hidden in the forest, we can see that he's got 2 Empire units, Empire Knight units. I don't see anybody else around, and for his missile he has gone with 2 crossbowmen, 1 handgun unit, and also the silver bullets. They're expecting the enemy at the back. They will be revealed at a later time. And also back here another unit of halberd protecting the Hammer of the Witches together with a great cannon. So yeah, that's gonna be beautiful. I can already smell a good game before I see it. Well, I've seen it already, but before I saw it for the first time I knew it's gonna be fun. So for the Tomb Kings we have the Chosen of the Gods here, great armor piercing missile unit, also has the shield breaker effect. So yeah, even if you have a shield, it's not gonna work out too well for you. A Carrion unit over here, we also get a Horseman Skeleton Archer unit, the same on this side. And for the main line we have a mix of Skeleton Warriors together with some Tomb Guard. I think like 4 Skeleton Warriors and 2 Tomb Guards and 3 Skeleton Spearmen in the back. He also got Cetra on a War Sphinx to just mass up any infantry. He also got the Nerus incantation of desiccation, actually of protection, sorry, and incantation of cursed blades, and that's it, together with the curse and the restless dead. He's got a unit of Necropolis Knights with halberds back here, which are actually taking damage already from the Hammer of the Witches, so these things are actually doing work already. And over here he's got a Necrotect, just with a healing, possibly, not possibly, that's a standard to keep healing the Necropolis Knights. And yeah, I think that is it. So let's get straight into the game because it's about to begin. So the Ushabti Great Bows are gonna move up into the front line, just start peppering down the Hammer of the Witches or the Great Cannon. I think they're in range already, but they must have glitched a little bit. Now they will stop and actually start doing some work. And which one are they gonna go off first? Of course the Hammer of the Witches, because it makes sense. And the halberds are gonna suffer some damage as well because they're mixed in there. The Empire front line is gonna move up in the front for a little bit, but the Hammer of the Witches together with the Great Cannon are giving it back to the Chosen of the Gods. Boris is chasing down the Skeleton Archers, and the Carrions over here will try to shut down the Hammer of the Witches for a brief period of time. The halberds are gonna move in, the Empire Knights are gonna mobilize, just come outside from the forest, and the crossbowmen over here just point blank shooting at them. But it's actually, the Carrions doing work at the moment. They're keeping that thing occupied, so the Ushabti can do a lot more damage. But alas, the Empire Knights will just cross in here and just completely destroy that guy. Cetra is gonna come straight into the middle, and he's gonna start rocking up some good hits on the Sigma Suns. And Boris over here actually is in a little bit difficult situation, because he dives in to get the Skeleton Horseman Archers, and he ends up into a fight with the Necropolis Knights, which is not gonna be in his favor. These frontline troops are overextending a little bit. Riggsen should get the hint of moving them back, because these skeleton warriors are getting into the back line. Boris is desperately trying to get out of there, and he actually manages to. The Empire Knights over here will just try to intercept the skeleton warriors, but these guys need to be intercepted as well, the handguns, and Riggsen is gonna hear my prayers, and he's gonna respond with the other Empire Knight, just point on charging that skeleton warrior, just not allowing to get into the back, into the handguns. The Empire Knights are gonna get countered by the Necropolis Knights over here, which is gonna spell trouble for him, because these guys hit hard against anti-large, and now they actually managed to get into the backline, into the cannon. So this is turning out to be like a battle of disarray. Like nothing did go as intended in the beginning. The Necropolis Knights will just start fighting the Empire ones. Boris is actually doing, although really good damage to Cetra the Invincible, and Ned has gone down onto him, so both the Hammer of the Witches together with the Crossbowmen and the Silver Bullets are point blank shooting that thing. And Boris is over here together with some of his Empire Knights, which are gonna get sandwiched by the Necropolis Knights, but in return the Empire Knights, the second ones, are gonna sandwich the Necropolis Knights in their back. One cannon has been rallied back here, it needs to get back if any piece remains and start opening fire. Cetra is trying to escape in the back because he has taken huge damage, just down to 1600 HP. Boris is gonna get back into the skies. These Skeleton Horseman Archers have been almost shattered, and these guys need to wake up and just start harassing the back line. Nusabti Summon is gonna go down on top of the Empire Knights, which I don't think it should have been this way. He needed to keep that thing for a much longer time. Don't bring it off as soon as it pops. And Boris is now gonna be on the hunt for Cetra the Imperishable, while the front line is kinda holding at the moment. These Skeleton Warriors are just sitting still doing nothing, but if they do, the Halberds will be there to meet them off. And finally the Skeleton Horseman Archers have moved into the back line, just shutting down those handguns. The Silver Bullets have rallied those. All they have to do is just come on, wake up, turn the other side around and start shooting. They're facing towards the wrong way at the moment. Boris is still trying to get Cetra. He's gonna try to get back into the air as these Necropolis Knights are netted. They were netted not in order to get shot or anything like that. They were in order for Boris to escape. Some Empire Knights have actually sneaked through the front lines, which I really don't know how that happened. That's because the Sigma Suns, the brave Sigma Suns, are standing as a beacon of hope in the middle, just holding back all of this tide of the undead. And Cetra is down to 43 HP, and boom, down he goes. Now Boris is gonna be all alone over here, but the Empire Knights are gonna buy him enough time to escape. He's gonna get back into the air so he can come back into the reserves of his and just start rallying them and just start doing some things. Halberdiers are fighting over here some Skeleton Warriors, which are starting to crumble. The Silver Bullets have turned the correct way and are now opening fire. The Skeleton Warriors will start to melt. The Tomb Guard over here, which is quite healthy at the moment, is overchasing the Halberdier, so I guess that's a good thing for Riggsen at the moment, which he might have killed Cetra, but there's still a lot at play in the matchup still. Like a really healthy unit. Where's the Necropolis Knights? I can't see where they are. Are they here? Yeah, they are here. And they again get netted, so Boris can just... he came in, he dived, he did some good work, and when he needed to just get the hell away from there, a net was present in order for him to escape. So Boris is gonna just gonna start trying to clean up some chaff. The Light Wizard is fighting all alone, but with the help of this guy, he's gonna be able to just crumble these guys a lot faster. The Empire Knights have all but been destroyed, except this unit over here, which is gonna get rallied and come back. The Halberd Knights, the Necropolis Knights, are gonna get a really good charge on Boris, just bringing his healing cap out and also getting him down to 2800 HP. The crossbowmen are opening fire. The line is holding still at the moment. He still has some halberdiers over here fighting off Tomb Guard and another unit of Tomb Guard. Holy shit, that is sick. But Boris, well, what's he trying to do right now? He's going straight on to pick up a fight with the Necropolis Knights, because this is the only thing that are actually keeping the Empire from pulling the victory, because it's a mobility game. Like, if you take out the Necropolis Knights over here, then Boris can just keep cycle charging. The Empire Knights can do the same, even though they're probably gonna get started over here, so they're not gonna remain in the field. But yeah, if you take out the mobility from the Tomb Kings, which only comes with that unit at this stage of the game, because the Skeleton Horse Archers have been fended off, then Riggsen is gonna be able to just crossfire shoot with the silver bullets and the handgunners over here, even though they're way too beaten up. And yeah, like Riggsen knows that, and he's desperately trying to get these Necropolis Knights. The silver bullets are gonna start opening fire, and the Necropolis Knights are gonna be going straight in for them. The crossbowmen, who have run out of ammunition, bravely try to intercept the guys so their brethren can just keep on opening fire, and they do, but in the end they're just gonna get charged really hard. But Boris is gonna be here just diving in from their back, just doing some really good work. All that's needed right here is actually the Light Wizard. I hope to just drop a fast protection, so Boris can kill these Necropolis Knights on its own a lot faster. You need a couple of even crossbowmen. Just get them in there to saturate, so Boris is not gonna get hit hard back, so the models will just start fighting the infantry while Boris is actually doing the killing. A lot of rallies going on back here. Hopefully, even though the white line is really close, they were able to just not get off from there. Another unit, actually it's the Light Wizard, which rallies and then breaks again, because he's all alone fighting against Tomb Guard, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's a tough situation. And Boris over here still down to 30 HP now, with his healing cap fully reached, so no more healing for Boris. The Necropolis Knights though have all but been shattered, almost. They still have 700 HP, but the crossbowmen are opening fire on them. They might have like 90 armor, which is a lot, but they don't have shields, so a little by little that damage is gonna add up, and Boris is gonna come in with another dive. Some halberdiers are gonna be rallying, just coming to the rescue of their Lord and Savior. And yeah, 300 HP. Is that Tomb Guard fighting over here, or is it Skeleton Warriors? Oh shit, it's actually Tomb Guard, so things are gonna get rough in here. Necropolis Knights down to 42 HP, just one model remaining. Come on, crumble, 3 HP, and boom, down it goes. So the bounce of fire is still in the Tomb King's favor. Oh, there was a Skeleton Spearman over chasing somewhere back here, and he's now gonna be coming back. Alright, so Riggsen right now, all he needs to do is just actually snipe out this Necrotech. He's the one that's keeping the balance of power steady. If that guy, if that last bastion of leadership goes out, then the Tomb Guard will have to shatter. Like, they just can't fight on their own against Boris. Just keeps on diving at them from the sky. And he needs to do it before the spearmen arrive. If these spearmen get here and just saturate with the rest of the troops, they're gonna do some really good work. Every time Boris is gonna try to dive in, he's gonna get massive strike, and it's not gonna be good for him. So Montcas, he's not gonna try to chase these halberdiers on the crossbowmen over here. He decides to just stay and fight the halberds, but at the same time Boris just snipes out the Necrotech, shifting the balance of power heavily in his favor. And that's why I said, like, the Necropolis Knights needed to go out of the field. Riggsen knew that, he capitalized on that, and as soon as they were out, first Cetra, then Necropolis Knights, it was like GG, almost. Well, he went after the Skeleton Archers first, Horse Archers, then Cetra, and then Halberds. You see that pattern over there? Yeah, the mobility. He took out the mobility, and from there on he knows that he can just keep dive bombing with Boris and just whatever remains of his troops. It doesn't really matter, so he can do the rest. And now it's just gonna be, I'm just gonna fast forward this, because it's just the last spearmen, which are gonna get destroyed by crossfire, and also the infantry together with Boris just doing some work. And that was it. So GG to Riggsen. That was one hell of a game. I really enjoyed that, because there was, like, you could see like the strategy. Riggsen, as I said, they went in for specific targets. He cleaned the carrion immediately. he went after the skeleton horseman archers, even though he was risking of getting caught with Boris, but he knew that these guys cannot remain alive because they would harass his backline. Then he moved on to Cetra. He sniped out, he get him really hard with the net, and also Boris diving in on him. And yeah, the Hammer of the Witches did some work as well on Cetra, but mostly it was coming from Boris. And from there on, just the Necropolis Knights were left all alone to fight against big bad boy Toddy over here. I really like the pick of the Light Wizard. Fast protection together with the nets was amazing. The exorcism as well. Fast protection costs like 5 winds of magic, so the more you cast it, I mean, it's a cheap spell, so you're gonna get to cast it a lots of times, which means the exorcism is gonna kick off more and more, which is gonna do map-wide damage against all the undead, and it did. 149 kills and 73 for the Flagellants, so quite an amazing unit if you're fighting against the undead or against lots of terror. These guys are a must, because you need to have some part of your army that's not gonna break. You don't need to win it, you just need to know that it's not gonna break for a few seconds, so you can do your work elsewhere. The Halberdiers did quite well as well. 10 kills on these guys. They were probably just didn't get to fight into a fair situation. 93 kills for the Sigma Sons, and these guys were actually straight up in the middle of it. They were fighting on top of everything at one point at the battle, and they actually got 93 kills, which is freaking amazing. The crossbowmen did freaking amazing, to be honest. 60 and 58 kills. Yeah, that's pretty damn great, and they were shooting like big targets, so getting that amount of kills is pretty decent. 3 and 33 kills for the Silver Bullets, because they were countered hard. Like before the mobility of the Tomb Kings actually died, they were having to face a lot of trouble from these ones. And the Empire Knights did quite well. Just stopping the onslaught from the Tomb King's infantry, just doing some really good work, but alas, like the Necropolis Knights were too much to deal with, and just Boris was able to deal with them, and barely, like he needed a lot of time to just clean these guys up. And the Hammer of the Witches, just a great pick, at just together with Boris and the rest of the stuff, withering down any target that needed to be withered. So for Montcas, I really like his build. I gotta say, like, that was beautiful. I really like the use of Tomb Guard, because every time I see somebody forgetting about the anti-infantry, I always get mad. I'm happy to see about Montcas over here actually bringing some anti-infantry. I think, when was the last game? I think it was with Lumberjacks, Bretonia versus Tomb Kings, and the Tomb King player didn't bring a single, actually he brought just the Tomb King, just a Scorpion in order to deal with infantry. And yeah, Scorpions are meant to deal with infantry, but to harass them. They're not getting kills done, they're just jumping left and right, being a nuisance, okay? They're not killing, heavy killing. So yeah, like, I really love seeing some stalwart infantry fighting always. He had the spears for the anti-lards. I would prefer some Nikias' Legion, or at least one Tomb Halberd, just for the armor piercing, but it proved that it wasn't necessary, because it was only Empire Knights over here. And yeah, the use of Skeleton Archers was quite good, and the Horseman Skeleton Archers even better. Carrion as well. The Chosen of the Gods, I think, I don't know, perhaps he should have gone 2. I believe if it was 2, the Hammer of the Witches would have started like a lot faster. These guys hit really hard. And 100 kills on the Necropolis Knights, absolutely proving these guys are no joke. So yeah, that was it, guys. Like, a great battle between two good players from what I saw on the field. I really hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like or a comment. Feel free to subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification button. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.